bob and weave back and forth.
I thought those were soccer socks at first. But
We're doing the Bella complex from the Rogue Invitational. Is that what's from?
Great promotional video there.
Jeremy didn't make it up. So it's from, right?
Yeah.
2021?
Yes.
So that is a clean, followed by a shoulder to overhead, followed by a squat, followed by a shoulder to overhead. Kind of technique-wise, the main focus is going to be on, if you can't split jerk for multiple reps, then you're no good to anyone. Because even though there's 2 cleans in there, it highlights the ability to bring up the bar back to your shoulders efficiently, and then get it back over your head efficiently as well. So we'll be focusing on some barbell cycling, barbell gymnastics, whichever term you like to describe that.
Can it be a power clean?
It can be a power clean. We will discuss the pros and cons of that approach later. There you go. So grab all your accoutrements. Grab yourself a PVC stick and a light kettlebell for strict presses, windmills, things of that nature. Awkward single arm overhead movements that everyone enjoys. I can do next year. What do you want to do? Call it right now. You want snatch? You want lift?
What are you guys doing today?
We're doing the Bella complex from the Rogue Invitational. Let's snatch. Okay, we'll snatch next week.
Alright, Invitational?
Thumbs around the PVC stick, fingers around the thumb. Pass through, making the biggest circle possible in all directions. Making the biggest diameter. Shrug the shoulders forward, shrug the shoulders up, pull the chest back. Maintain the full grip the whole time. Oh yeah, baby. Shoulder overhead. If you're not using a split jerk, you're never gonna win going overhead. What?
You're never gonna win, you're not good for anything.
Yeah, if you can't put weight overhead, you're useless to the human race. What?
Did you get that?
I'm kidding all of this.
So we're gonna go through our normal kind of building and learning process with our high rep EMOM, focusing on the main aspects of the lift. Warming up for the Bella complex. Like I've already said, it's mainly an overhead and jerk challenge than it is being able to clean and stand the weight up. Because the first part can be a clean of any sort. Power clean, squat clean, doesn't matter. After that, you get it overhead. Now if everyone do a split jerk, well actually for the first part we'll do a push jerk. We've got to get it all the way up overhead, and then do a second squat. So for some people, the squat is the limiting factor. Then there's nothing I can do to help you, you just need to get stronger. And then we'll get to the jerk, and then, right?
Yeah.
I can't pick you up.
You're right. It's not
You can't
wrong.
squat a clean. Then. You can't squat reps on clean.
you can't squat on anybody.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
So after the push press, we'll bring the bar back down. After our lunges, 2 split jerks. Most of you probably already know the next part. We're going to alternate your dominant leg with your non-dominant leg. So whichever one is your strong leg, you can start there, dip, drive, land. The next one, drive, go with the opposite leg. If you haven't done that before, I think most of you have, but some of you have not. I like to do that because one of the biggest faults for new to intermediate lifters, even if you watch the Rogue Invitational where the Bella complex is from, the people that miss the weight, if they miss the jerk, it's where it's from, right? Yeah. So the way they miss it when they do the jerk is they drive, dip, the bar's out in front because they're tired and they're leaning forward so that bar goes out and away from them. Because the weight and your body wants to stay over your dominant leg. So you end up in this position where you're forward, all the weight's here, the weight's out in front, and when it's heavy you can't hold that. So sometimes when we take our dominant leg and send it behind us, your body naturally sits back and wants to camp out with it. Because your brain knows that's the good leg, that's the strong leg. So put it behind you, and some people naturally stack 1,000,000 times better. So let's go to our barbells. We'll run through it once or twice together, Simon Says style, before we start our EMOM. Roll to the knuckles, curl them back, lower to the shins, weights on the balls of the feet, and power clean. There you go, open fingers, reset, back to the hips, and power clean. And power clean. There you go, good catch. fix it. So we're here, strict, and then from there we're dropping back to fingertips. Ready, and go. There you go, recover, step back down. Did anyone do it with the non-dominant leg?
Yeah.
Very good job. Gold stars for anyone that did it correctly. Ready, fingertips, big shoulders, ready, and go. There you go. And recover. Last one. Ready, unlock the knees, straighten the forefoot, and drive. Recover and relax. The big part of being able to sequence overhead lifts is knowing how to bring it back properly. A big part of that is learning that from here to here, it doesn't take really much energy out of your shoulders. It's mainly your triceps are doing that work, and so we're using those as brakes to about here. And then at that point, we're letting it drop back to us, and we're essentially catching a power clean. Boom, right there. That's catching a power clean. Now stand it up, do a push press. And now bring it back down and catch it. Boom. But now do it again, pause in the catch. And pause. Boom. It's the same thing. When people, you can pause, you can rest now. Even at the invitational level, or the competitive level, there's people that just can't bring weight back down to their shoulders above a certain kind of percentage of their max. They start bringing it down and they're like crumbling, they're falling backwards. Those are the people that they can't do high rep sequences because they haven't taught their body how to catch it in that direction. It's very easy. It's the same muscles doing the same thing as a power clean. You just have to actively think about getting everything to catch and stack and really not be afraid of it. Everyone's afraid to bring the weight back to themselves, but your arms are plenty strong enough to do it if you sequence it properly. So what we're gonna do next, we're gonna do 8 rounds. That sequence, 4 of everything, every 2 minutes. So start light, and then we'll build up across those 8 rounds. And break.
Is it a lot of reps?
Yeah, it's a lot of reps. I didn't want to go this heavy, but Paul made me go heavier than I wanted.
I mean, it's not like heavy.
That's some big boy weight.
Lightweight, baby.
The main focus now is going to be on those split jerks, bringing it back to the shoulders properly, controlling that top half, and then returning it to essentially a power clean catch position. Drop it to the shoulders at that halfway point. Use your hips, your thighs to absorb that weight. After that, your front squat. If you suck at front squats, what you want to do is not just drop into it. Control it similar to the jerk. Control it about halfway and then use a little bit of bounce, that's fine. When you use the bounce, out of the bounce, stand up and think about pushing your hips forward, and that'll help tilt your torso up and help you squeak past that typical point where we all, me included, you get crushed as you're a can in a machine. So get that bounce, push the hips forward, and then do your second split jerk. Same thing as before. After that, you get to drop it. You don't have to do anything fancy after that. 6, 8, maybe a little bit more rounds. Trying to go for a max. It's a 4-rep sequence. Probably should be able to get above 90%. Max clean jerk, yeah. I think there's a good chance the most you can get to 90% if you have a relevant max around this time. Go with whichever split jerk has been feeling more capable for you today. So dominant, non-dominant, and then eventually maybe your non-dominant is your dominant. It happens sometimes for some people. Okay, so let's go ahead and consolidate weights real fast. You need to grab some more weight. Get that balance established. Get the right leg stack better.
Post words?
Plus words?
Post.
Oh, post word. What's the question?
What do you think?
About what?
Everyone?
They did good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of the things that people need to get better at, it's just putting in the time, putting in miles. Yeah. It's not about like a magical cue necessarily, because only some people can really make change with a magical cue. It's more about people's bodies, especially after they get tired, they'll naturally find a way to make something easier. So when you give them a chance to really fatigue out some of the smaller muscles, smaller movement patterns, and give them those kind of the cues to focus on that makes it easier for themselves, especially when you're doing the high reps where you're making them go backwards through the movement, it just gives their brain naturally its own chance to kind of find the more efficient patterns and find better movement.
Good words. Proud of you.